If you're like me, you were just dying for some Mavericks basketball. The NBA Finals feels like it was years away, although it was about 2 months away. But we do know of some very important dates coming up, although the full schedule hasn't been released. We're going to take a look at some of those dates that we do know of, some that are revenge games for Klay Thompson or for Luka Doncic and even Derrick Lively, as well as the NBA Cup and who are the teams that we will see in the in-season tournament. And how does that change everything for the Dallas Mavericks? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. Before we start with today's video, I just want to thank NordVPN for being the sponsor of today's video. How's it going, everybody? Marcel Martin, Mavs Digest. Are you tired of not being able to watch your favorite sports team, or maybe your favorite movie or show based on where you live and your internet restrictions? Well, sounds like you could use a VPN. Unlock the internet today with NordVPN, your ultimate digital shield. With over 5,000 servers in 60 countries, you can access any content from anywhere in the world. NordVPN encrypts your internet traffic, ensuring your data remains private and secure. Whether you're streaming, browsing, or shopping online, NordVPN provides a fast, reliable, and safe connection. Don't let borders limit your internet experience. Take control with NordVPN. Sign up today and enjoy the freedom of the web with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you use the special code of NordVPN/Mavericks, you can get 4 months free. Throw the code up on the screen for you guys. NordVPN.com/Mavericks. Get 4 extra months free. Don't limit yourself to not being able to see everything that you want to see, everything that you want to do. Get a VPN, access all the content that you deserve, and you'll thank me later. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. But like I said in the intro, if you're like me, you are just dying from the lack of basketball, the lack of Mavericks basketball. Unfortunately, Luka Doncic didn't make it to the Olympics. And for some of us, we did watch Dwight Powell play pretty good basketball in the Olympics. But other than watching Dwight Powell or watching ex-Maverick Josh Green, as well as Dante Exum for Australia, we are dying for more Mavericks basketball. We made a lot of moves this offseason, getting Spencer Dinwiddie, Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Klay Thompson. But we want to see what these guys look like with the Dallas Mavericks system and how far they can go. And for this upcoming season, although the full schedule hasn't been released just yet, I'm being told that it should come out in the upcoming days. We do know of some very key and important dates that we're going to go ahead and break down. And the first few dates that we're going to look at is right here. The Dallas Mavericks release games for the 2024-2025 NBA season. The first game that we do know of is Mavs and Warriors on November 12th. The Timberwolves and the Mavs on December 25th. The Celtics and Mavs on January 25th, and the Mavs and Celtics again on February 6th. So this right here is just loaded with revenge games. If we take a look at the very first one, Mavs at Warriors on November 12th, that'll be a very important game for one Klay Thompson, who we all saw what happened last season. He really wasn't playing like prime Klay Thompson, but he still had a pretty good season overall until the end of the season where he went 0 for 10 in an elimination game, which really didn't leave a good taste in a lot of people's mouths, didn't really make people believe that Klay Thompson was still Klay Thompson, and maybe that was even extended to the Warriors, where there were rumors that if Klay Thompson did return to the Warriors, that he would be backing up Brandon Podziemski, the sophomore guard on the Golden State Warriors. And we all saw what happened over the summer. Nico Harrison, along with Kyrie Irving, worked their magic, and we were able to get Klay Thompson to put on the Dallas Mavericks jersey. So on November 12th, when we play against the Golden State Warriors, that will be huge for Klay Thompson, but I think that'll be very big for the Dallas Mavericks as a team. With the new additions of all these guys, we want to make sure that everyone can gel very well. It's not like we just added Klay Thompson and maybe some role players. We have at least 4 players that are going to get significant minutes, or in their own right significant minutes. You can argue Spencer Dinwiddie may or may not play many minutes, but we do have for the most part, a brand new roster, new identity after this offseason, and going up against the Golden State Warriors that early in the season could be a good test for us. The Golden State Warriors, even though they really didn't look that good last season, they aren't a bad team. They still have Steph Curry. They still have Draymond Green, I guess. They have Andrew Wiggins, where sometimes he can look like Kobe Bryant sometimes. Sometimes he can look like Anthony Bennett. You never know what you're going to get with Andrew Wiggins. But they did make some good moves this offseason. Not too many, but they did have some additions to the roster. So a nice little revenge game for Klay Thompson would be nice for him, as well as it could be a good test for the Dallas Mavericks. But some other games that we got coming up. On Christmas, we will be playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which I think that'll be more of a revenge game for the Timberwolves if they feel like they can pull it off. We all saw what the Dallas Mavericks did to the Timberwolves in the third round of the NBA playoffs, where we went up 3-0. We were spanking them. There was nothing that they could do. That series made the Thunder series look like an NBA final series. Going up against the Thunder, I was like, man, we won, but it wasn't that bad, right? We won in 6 games, right? We go up against the Timberwolves and we almost swept them. It felt like a breeze, a walk in the park. But on Christmas, they'll have their chance to redeem themselves, I guess, and Anthony Edwards could try and show the world that he is the next face of the league. And he can try all he wants, but there's Luka Doncic, who will put on a MVP caliber game like he's done for the majority of his career. But that will be a pretty big game, not just because it's up against the Timberwolves, which will be good for us, just like the Warriors. It could be a good test for us. That early in the season will be good for the Mavericks. But it's also a Christmas game, and who doesn't want to watch the Dallas Mavericks play on Christmas right after you open up your presents and drink your eggnog, right? But what other games do we have coming up? Well, we also have our own revenge game, our own rematch with the Boston Celtics on the 25th, and then only about a week and a half later, we see them again on February 6th. And so those two games, or those two dates at least, are going to be very important for the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of fans are saying that the Celtics is the bar. That's the team that we need to be better than if we even want to believe that we can win an NBA Finals. Doesn't matter if it's a different team that is, in the Eastern Conference that makes it to the Finals. A lot of people believe that if we can beat the Celtics, if we can be better than the Celtics, we have a very good chance of winning NBA Finals. And I agree with that as well. They just won the Finals. They do have a pretty loaded roster. Our team was very green going into the playoffs, not even just the finals. We had a lot of guys that this was their first deep run, and I think we learned a lot from this playoff run. Going up against them fairly early in the season will be a good test for the Dallas Mavericks. But we do have some other dates that we do want to take a look at as well. Breaking, the Dallas Mavericks schedule has been released for the NBA Cup. This is for the in-season tournament. We play the Warriors on November 12th, like I said before, but we also play the Pelicans on November 19th. We play the Nuggets on November 22nd, and we play the Grizzlies on December 3rd. So I already spoke about the Warriors, how that's going to be like a nice little revenge game for Klay Thompson. But the Pelicans will also be a pretty good matchup for us, as well as the Nuggets. The Pelicans, because they did get DeJounte Murray, who does help out that team a lot. And obviously the Grizzlies, you still have Nikola Jokic, even though they did lose a few players in the free agency. They did get Russell Westbrook, so not sure what that's going to look like. But still, Nikola Jokic is an MVP. He is on the Nuggets, which is, they just won a championship 2 years ago, right? So that's another good test for us. And then the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are going to be very interesting because with John Morant coming back into the lineup, fully healthy, given this long extended period of time not playing, the Grizzlies could be pretty dangerous in the West. We saw what happened last season where when John Morant was in the lineup, they were one of the best teams in the West. The moment he was out with that injury, nothing. Even when he came back from his little suspension, he was able to help them win games. Until he got injured, he was gone for the rest of the season. And putting it into perspective, next year is going to be very tough for the Dallas Mavericks. There are a lot of teams that not only did we improve, they also improved as well. I still have a lot of faith in my team. I have faith in Jason Kidd, Luka Doncic, Kyrie, Klay, Derrick Lively, PJ. I have faith in everybody, all the way down to Dwight Powell. I truly do. But we can't think that this upcoming season will be a cakewalk for us. Not everybody, but the majority of the teams in the West did their homework, did what they had to do to improve their own roster. We weren't the only ones. So these early games against some of these teams that should be top of the Western Conference will be just good practice for us. It'll be a good test for us to see what we look like currently. And going into the trade deadline, we can see what changes we need to make, or if we need to make any at all, we just stay pat. Nothing really to mess with if the team looks good. And just to continue with the whole cup nonsense, news: the Dallas Mavericks have a 20-1 odds to win the NBA Cup. 20-1 odds to win the cup. Now, I know it's just an in-season tournament. A lot of people don't put a lot of stock into it. It's not the Larry O'Brien trophy, right? It's not an NBA Finals trophy. So why should people care? Well, the disrespect of being a Dallas Mavericks, we talk about it all the time. And I just want to show this to you guys that the odds that we have, we are second from the bottom on this right here. We have the same odds as the Pacers to win the NBA Cup. The Nuggets, cool. The Suns? The Suns have better odds than the Dallas Mavericks of winning the cup. Okay, you have Kevin Durant, but you got Devin Booker. I mean, what? I don't get it. I absolutely do not understand that at all. The Bucks, I think that we are better than the Bucks. The Sixers, I feel like getting Paul George, it just overinflates the stock of the 76ers. They are a good team. I don't think they're better than the Mavericks. The Knicks as well. The Timberwolves and the Thunder having those odds compared to us is outrageous. The Celtics, sure, they just won an NBA Finals. You can give them those odds, that's fine. But for a couple of these teams, you know what? I've said it many times. You can't tell them, you got to show them. And even though we made the finals, you would think that we showed everybody how good we are. We got to do it again, apparently. So these are the odds that they have for the Dallas Mavericks winning the NBA Cup. Take it as you will. I think that if we really cared, if the guys really were trying, we could easily win the cup. I don't really see any team that can mess with this Dallas Mavericks team. Maybe I'm a homer, but I just believe in my team that much. But continuing with some news that we do have. The Dallas Mavericks will travel to the LA Clippers' new Intuit Dome Arena on October 14th for a preseason matchup. So that's another date that we have against the Clippers, which I think will be important for us. In the past few seasons, that was always a team that kind of gave us headaches in the playoffs, and Derrick Jones Jr. did decide to go and sign with that team, so maybe this is a little bit of a revenge game for the Dallas Mavericks as a whole, a little bit of a get back for us, and no hard feelings. At least I'm not too upset by losing Derrick Jones Jr. I would have loved to have him stay with us for the money that we offered. I don't think it was that much of a big deal, but I understand that he didn't want to come off the bench. He wanted to be a starter, and you got to look out for yourself. It's your career. I understand, but I know that there are some people out there that are definitely going to be watching that game, hoping we just crush and dominate the LA Clippers. But the last thing that we're going to look at is right here. Let me make sure. Yes, so the Dallas Mavericks will host their season opener at the AAC against the San Antonio Spurs on October 24th. The game will air on TNT. Now, why is this so important? Why is obviously it's our season opener, so yes, that's very important. But why against the Spurs does that matter? Well, they did get Chris Paul, which a lot of people think that Chris Paul really elevates his team. He's a wonderful point guard, had a great career. He's one of the last true pure point guards in the league. I get that. And Victor Wembanyama, yeah, he just got the silver medal with France. Okay, I get it. Cool. But last year in our season opener against the Spurs, I saw something that I don't think a lot of people saw. Let me just show you guys the film in case you all forgot. Oh, that's Derrick Lively catching a lob on your head top? Okay, another one. The man's a flight risk. He jumps and he's going to throw it down. The Spurs had no answer. Kept putting the wrong man on him. I don't even see Victor Wembanyama trying to guard Derrick Lively in any of these. He got the wrong man on him. So in our season opener, if the Spurs want to go up against us and if they want to have a fighting chance, you better double or even triple team Derrick Lively, because this Derrick Lively that you see on screen is not the same Derrick Lively that's going to come out in our season opener. Derrick Lively has improved tenfold over his freshman year, and I believe over this summer he's been putting in that work in the gym, and he's going to surprise a lot of people. And the only way he can do that is in the season opener, just prove that he is better than Victor Wembanyama. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another jersey giveaway. It will be announced in the first week of September. We're also doing a NBA Fantasy League. If you want to be a part of our Fantasy League, all you have to do is be a part of our second tier membership or higher. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.